Hello, my name is Emma and I've come to play One Date with a Snake Boy with you today, which is very exciting. It looks very cute. So yeah, let's have a play. Today was a hard day at work and my aching knees and back made it clear to me. But it's over now. After all, I'm a step away from the door of my apartment, which means... There was a small rumble outside the door, but the noises died down as quickly as they started. Despite the silence, I knew someone was looking through the peephole. ... Hi, Raina. Rihanna. Oh dear. These are going to be complicated names. Diaz? Diaz, is that right? Hello, Diaz, you're very cute. Hello, Diaz. Don't be shy, come inside. You're very cute. As soon as I entered the house, my fatigue turned into bliss. I'm glad that my dear husband keeps home comfort and warm atmosphere. Without asking any questions, Diaz took my bag with his cute smile and headed towards our room. I started to take off my shoes so I wouldn't stain the floor of my house with street dirt. My feet were now free of those shoes, and as a sign of a small victory over another difficult task, I yawned and straightened my back. Poor thing, you must be so hungry. Let's go, I'll serve you some food. Yep. I immediately stormed after my husband, turning off all thought processes in order to eat enough of his cooking. Take a seat, Rihanna. Rihanna. I'm going with Rihanna. Look at his tail. It's cute. It reminds me a bit of Kami-sama Hajimemashite, which is a very cute anime with a snake boy. Diaz went towards the kitchen and began to put a fragrant pilaf on my plate. Why are you only putting food on one plate? Are you not getting yourself any? I already ate, don't worry. Well, okay then. My husband finished putting food on my plate and finally brought the dish to the table with a joyful smile. The art's very cute. Thanks for the food. Having assessed the dish for its attractiveness, I mentally rated it a 10 out of 10 and immediately began to eat it greedily. Even without taking my eyes off the food, I knew that Diaz was watching with great curiosity how I ate it. Back earlier, I felt very embarrassed by his burning gaze, and now I can slurp with my mouth wide open and not be afraid of anything. It's good to be polite, though, have manners while you eat, but I prefer not to. Yeah, he hasn't changed one bit. Every time I come back from a hard day at work and sit down to eat, Diaz constantly giggles while watching me eat his food. What do you need? Mail? Let your wife eat in peace. Diaz smiled wickedly, but said nothing. Apparently he really wants to let me dine in complete peace. Anyway, I'm finally done with my meal. I'm so full right now. Well, how's the food? Did you like it? Perfect as always. Thanks for the food, it was just amazing. Glad you liked it. Well, how was your day? Was there anything interesting at work today? Everything is as usual, nothing new. How was your day? Was there anything interesting? Well, today I cleaned the windows. Then I slept. Then I went for groceries. Then I rested. Then I washed the dishes. In general, nothing interesting. Little house husband, snake man. Oh, okay. Rihanna? Yes? I think I miss you and want to spend more time with you. Is that so? Maybe you want to get some coffee with me? Oh! Right now? Well, yes. As long as I'm not too tired, let's take a walk somewhere. Oh, but then I'll have to get dressed. It'll probably take a long time. It's okay, I'm not rushing you. As soon as I said those words, Diaz seemed to vanish. Oh, well. I had no choice but to go after him, in our room. Even without entering the bedroom, I could already hear his rustle near the closet. I'll be waiting here, so tell me when you'll finish preparing. Okay. The noise died down a little as soon as I entered the room and Diaz began picking up his clothes more calmly. So, this dress looks really nice, but damn, it's evening. Is that supposed to be us over there? That's well cute! So, this dress looks really nice, but damn, it's evening, and I can catch cold in it. Although if I put something on top... Diaz stopped talking to focus on finding the right dress, and I, on the other hand, just watched his routine. There was something mesmerizing about it. The sincerity in which Diaz asked my opinion about his appearance, and I, like a blissful fool, always answered the same thing. You look so amazing. Like a silly child who makes the same mistakes over and over again, he was embarrassed by my compliment, knowing that I would always answer him that way. And it's not a forced compliment, I really mean it. You are telling me the same thing every day. Are you mad because I call you beautiful? Without answering my sarcastic question, Diaz went on with his manly business. The calm atmosphere made me sleepy. I tried my best to stay awake. Oh, we can't fall asleep, we need to take him out for coffee. I was so excited. I even listened to the distant rustling of clothes, but as it turned out, thoughtless concentration on sounds only made my eyelids heavier. Brianna. What? Are you sleeping? No? Are you ready? Yes, I just finished with the makeup. Well, then let's go. It's very cute, bless him. Finding a cafe with free space that accommodated the needs of bulky beast humans like Diaz was surprisingly easy. However, the lounge yet aren't fully adapted to the needs of the beast humans. The fact is that in just one evening, Diaz was touched several times. People just touched his tail, not wanting to face him for obvious reasons. Sorry, mister, can you please tell your daughter not to touch beast human, especially with that aggression? Sasha, stop touching people! Sorry, she's my only child and on the spectrum. Sasha is just expressing her interest in, to everything new. Yeah. I understand you, but my husband is nervous that he is touched many times without asking, and because of his size he cannot keep his entire body in one place. Sasha, come to me. Without responding, the young father called his daughter to him, and then took her away from Diaz while grabbing her hand. Are you okay? Did she hurt you? I'm fine, thanks for sticking up for me. We were close to the cafe where I booked our seats, so it was not difficult for us to walk to it. After entering the cafe, we chose coffee and left the building after receiving a check with the time of readiness for our orders. Despite the fact that this coffee shop is marked on the map as friendly to beast humans, I realised that Diaz wouldn't be able to squeeze between the tables. You look so cheerful. Did something happen? What? Oh, yeah, I may not have been able to sit inside the cafe, but still. I very rarely visit these shops because of, you know. And here we immediately planned to drink coffee and immediately left the house as if my size didn't matter at all. And I didn't know that standing in line would be so convenient. It's kind of inspiring for me. I'm glad that you think so, but now I started thinking that it's way easier for me to visit such buildings. I can't imagine how difficult it is for beast humans to do such things. Don't worry too much, it's not as hard as it seems. I got used to it a long time ago, so it's not fatal. Well, okay. Although if something is bothering you, then don't be shy and tell me, okay? Yep. So, while our coffee is not ready yet, we can look for a comfortable place to rest after. I don't mind. We started walking towards the park. The benches are usually quite large here. For a naga like Diaz, it would be easy for him to sit there. It didn't take long for us to get back to the park. Diaz claimed a bench that was far from the crowd, even though he didn't see it right away. He insisted that I should go for that order, otherwise this bench might be claimed by somebody else. 3 minutes later, I brought us coffee. Here you go. Diaz silently but with a huge smile took his coffee and waited for me to sit on the bench so he could gently wrap his tail around me. Despite my surprise, I didn't say anything to him. Also, when I refuse his touches, he begins to feel sad. It's so unusual that you stopped being shy about flirting with me in public. Well, there aren't many people here. At least I feel comfortable doing so. Understandable. Resigned to my fate, I relaxed and began to stroke Diaz's tail with my palm, while sipping my coffee. Your skin started to feel harder and drier than usual. Will you shed soon? Yep. Then I'll have to buy that scaling cream again. I just recently made a list of what I need when I get home. I will send it to you with a message. I just didn't bring my phone with me, so... Don't forget your phone, even if you plan to go out with me, okay? Okay. This walk is quite comfortable. I thought that because of the naga's structure, my husband would experience major difficulties moving around the city. Do you enjoy walking around like this? Yes, much better than last time. When the beast human first appeared, it was very difficult for us to move around the city after all. Not that it's easier to walk around the town, but there is a difference. Glad to hear it. Oh, are you already finished your coffee? Oh, whoa. I just wanted to warm up a little. I can't believe it made me say that. That's embarrassing. I'm gonna do it again. I can't. Oh, I just wanted to warm up a little. It's almost night after all. I've always wondered nagas don't have fur, but at the same time it's quite problematic for them to cover the bare parts of their body with clothes due to the constant friction with the ground. More to the point, aren't you cold? Snakes get cold easily, don't they? I've worked with snakes before. Well, for example, I do not experience such difficulties with temperature. I stay fully awake even in extreme cold. Snake people are more resistant to cold than your snakes. Ironically, it's all because of our size. If I understand, well, terrestrial snakes are easier to hibernate. They themselves are small and their body isn't as complex as ours, so they have no difficulty in maintaining life during freezing temperatures. We, on the other hand, hibernate harder because of our innate resistance to cold, so we always had to hunt and survive even in adverse weather. Therefore, snake humans are immune to the cold by historical reasons. But regardless of our body, it is still unpleasant for us to feel cold, so we started wearing clothes like you guys do. Wow, how interesting. Didn't know that it was that complicated. I'm so glad that you're interested in my features. I am pleased when my wife pays me such attraction. Ah. Before I realised it, Diaz squeezed me with his tail very hard and pounced on me with hugs. Rihanna, do you know? Among the nagas, males are born much more often than females, so we have fierce competition for women. And because of this competition, women get so much attention from us that at some point they start to get bored. Therefore, none of us hoped for some kind of good feeling from them, since they were fed up with our attention. But when our worlds connected, it was very odd. We never thought it was possible to have relationships with other species, you know? What does it mean? That we no longer lacked soulmates? Those who want to continue our kind will continue, while the rest of us will not be alone. Isn't it beautiful? This sounds very uplifting. Diaz slowly approached me, looking wary, as if waiting for my reaction. I understand what he wanted to do, and I didn't mind. Spoosh! Yay! By approaching his face, I kissed him on the lips. You taste like coffee. I wonder why. Despite the fact that the kiss happened on his initiative, Diaz was very embarrassed. He loosened his grips and crawled away from me to the edge of the bench. I've already finished my coffee, so we can go for another walk. I'll just go back home. Maybe we can go home? I don't know what just happened between us, but for some unknown reason, I wasn't surprised by this reaction. Let's go. I held out my hand to him and Diaz squeezed it tightly as he walked back home with me. The city got very dark while we were walking, and the light of the lanterns romantically blurred on in the background, giving our walk a special charm. When I think about it, this was the first time we've been walking with Diaz for such a long time. This job could easily break my will to exist and eat me alive. But fortunately, I met him before the most difficult period in my life started. Like in a dream, I walked home with my knees trembling in fatigue, not noticing that Diaz was somehow suspiciously silent all our way. Ooh, this day has just straight up drained my soul. After taking off my shoes, I sat on the floor, balancing with only one hand behind me. Now I want to go to bed and sleep. Rihanna, you can't do that. Before going to bed, you will definitely need to take a bath. But today I hardly sweated. It's okay if... Without even letting me finish my excuses, Diaz lifted me up by grabbing my torso. I'm serious, Rihanna. You really need to shower before you get into a clean bed. Rihanna? She fell asleep. It must have been hard today. It's okay. I'll wash you myself. Being in a blissful euphoria, I suddenly felt a terrible sting in my eye. Ouch! Oh, please forgive me. I'll wash it off now. Something warm ran down my face, washing that stinging pain from my eyes. Even though this unpleasant tingling in my eye gradually subsided, I became too uncomfortable to continue sleeping. Therefore, after waiting for a moment, when the warm stream of water stopped flowing down my face, I hardly opened my heavy eyelids. Oh, woke up already? I'm sorry? Are you washing me? Yes, and I'm almost done. Now I just need to wash off all the foam from you, and I will take you to sleep. Sakes alive. I'm so lucky to have this man. Why did you fill the bathtub? Oh, are you talking about this? I just wanted to relax a little. I would invite you to take a bath with me, but you're barely keeping your eyes open. Can I come with you? With me? My dear, didn't you want to sleep? Tomorrow's my day off anyway, so I think that it's not that fatal. Blushing in embarrassment and changing his intonation, Diaz began to quietly mumble something. But my brain was trying to fully wake up, so I didn't understand anything. Then let's go to the bathtub. Rihanna. Coming! Diaz let me into the bathtub first, holding my armpits along the way. He was probably afraid that I might accidentally slip and fall. But here I am, already sitting in it, throwing my hands behind the bathtub in order to maintain my balance. Now it's Diaz's turn to come in. Holding his hands onto the edge of the bathtub, he slowly and carefully crawled into the water until his entire body was in the bathtub. It must be slippery to crawl here. It's not as hard as it sounds. I didn't just climb too fast to avoid getting hurt. You know how difficult it will be finding a doctor who specifically understands Naga's anatomy. Yeah, that's right. You need to be more careful. DS easily swam up to me, wanting to wrap his body around me again. In order to help him do it more comfortably, I got up a little from the bottom of the tub. You love to do that, don't you? Is it because you're trying to keep warm? Now you're hugging me. Are all snacks so super tactile? Sorta. But actually no. What does it mean? When a naga wraps themselves around another naga, it counts as a sexual harassment. Holy shit. Moreover, in the marriage between the nagas, it's only appropriate when estrus period begins. No way, are you having an estrus period? No, I don't want to do this right now. Then why are you wrapping yourself around me? Blush. I just want hugs. Nothing weird or something. Oh, well okay then. DS, sitting on my lap and clasping around my neck with both hands, began to feel my legs with the tip of his tail. Human legs are so weird. It's amazing how such a small foot with such short toes helps you keep your balance. Dragging your long body, which is constantly stepped on and touched with dirty hands 1,000 times, is much harder than walking on your feet. Sometimes I envy you so much. I really like naga tails. Watching how it creaks bewitchingly from one place to another, and how shiny the little scales beautifully reflect the sunlight. A truly satisfying sight. You think so? Is it really beautiful? Yes, very much. You always love everything about me. Humph. DS pouted, demonstratively. Sometimes I feel like you're just lying to me. How can someone lie to such a cutie? Well, how? Smosh! Succumbing to his charm, I began to kiss his face, and DS was very embarrassed. How can you be married and be so embarrassed? That's weird to me, is that? Maybe... No, how? That's right. I kissed him even more aggressively to express my complete agreement with him. That's how my whole day went. At first everything went slowly and painfully, but then after talking with DS, I went to heaven as scheduled. While I summed up today, DS and I had already finished taking a bath. Surprisingly, I had some strength, otherwise I won't explain my wakefulness at such a moment. Kiss DS on the nose or on the lips. Oh, I didn't know there were going to be choices. Smoosh! After waiting for the moment when DS wrapped his body around me and finally lay opposite me, I gently pressed my lips to his. DS moaned in surprise for a moment. Despite the total darkness in the house, I could see him blush and embarrassed. But even after the suddenness, he quickly reciprocated, now pressing his lips to mine. DS began to moan sweetly while greedily kissing me, gradually changing his position to the top. And I, on the other hand, began to slowly move my hands along his soft waist. His skin is very soft, and it was pure pleasure to touch it. With every kiss and every touch, I felt DS heating up more and more, but his grip surprisingly weakening. These kisses relaxed me so much that I suddenly weakened. My hands fell back, like 10-kilogram weights. DS was so engrossed in the process that he didn't even notice how my hands are no longer touching his waist. DS... What? I'm falling asleep. How is that? Like, literally. I felt a weight slip off my thighs. DS slowly moved to his side of the bed, hoping that I would change my mind. His puppy eyes just drilled a hole in my face, which made me feel a little guilty. Forgive me, I didn't expect that. That's fine, honey. DS broke the silence that nearly put me to sleep. May I hug you like yesterday? Of course, babe. DS pressed his face against me, clasping my torso with his arms, wrapping his tail part around my legs. Thus he involuntarily swarmed my bare feet, on which I had already put on socks. Good night. Gah. Rhina was cut off by her own yawn. Without finishing her words, she fell asleep. Ending. Kissing kittens. Thank you so much for completing this novel. It was very cute, thanks for making it and sending it to me. Ah, finished! Ah! I'll have to go see what the other one is. One sec. Right, now this time we are going to kiss him on the nose. Smoosh! After waiting for the moment when Diaz wrapped his body around me and finally lay down opposite me, I gently pressed my lips onto his nose. Despite darkness in the whole house, I could see how he blushed very cutely, wrinkling his eyes in surprise. Good night, I told him while stroking his silky hair, then slowly but surely I began to sink into a long-awaited dream. Good night, Rihanna. Wishing his wife the same, Diaz kissed her softly on the lips, but to his regret, there was no answer. She must have fallen asleep. Diaz moved Rihanna closer to the middle of the bed and simply plopped down on top of her, greedily wrapping his arms around her torso. Fall asleep, my little bee. Sweet dreams. I hope tomorrow we will continue this kiss. Diaz himself soon drifted off to sleep, curling around her body and occasionally tickling Rihanna's neck with his warm sniffles. So that was one date with the snake boy. That was super duper cute. I really enjoyed that. Thank you again to the creator for sending it to me. And thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. Take care of yourself and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.